What up? Welcome to Nino Radio episode 1. Now, as you can see, obviously it's just me, but I am looking for a co-host. If you're interested in joining the team, contact me and we'll try to get you on. Maybe do like a little, setup interview or something and see if we can collab correctly on this podcast. Now, anyways, this podcast is going to be highlighting multiple issues, a plethora of issues in West Texas primarily, but nationwide. So thank you for checking this out. And we're going to be touching on some local issues right now. Let's get to it. Let's go. Okay, now let me get situated here, y'all. So the first thing I want to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, is this video I did with Michelle Bosque, right? Excuse me if I'm saying it wrong, sister. Now, this lady is someone I've known from a long time ago in West Texas. Now, Midland, Odessa is a tight-knit community, right? Basically, a lot of us know each other. And the crazy thing is, there's a lot of things happening in this town, Midland and Odessa, that's pretty wild, to say the least. Now, I interviewed Michelle yesterday. She came by the studio. I put a post up. I was basically kind of feeling myself. I had this whole studio set up a different way to do like a portrait style interview. And I interviewed Tracy McCurry. That's another topic I'll touch on in a minute. She's from Midland, born in the South Side. And I interviewed her, 75-minute sit down, y'all. And that interview went very well. And we ended up recording about 6 to 7 more clips about her time in prison and other, issues, that she was dealing with, right? So anyways, that was one interview. So I went ahead and put a post. I said, if anybody wants to do some kind of content in West Texas, let me know. And, we will get you on the air, right? And we'll push your message to the masses. So Michelle ended up texting me on that post or commenting on the post on my Facebook page. And what do you know? She ended up coming the same day and she came and sat down and gave, I want to say amazing, right? But a heartfelt interview, and she told her whole story. And that's what I want to do on my channel, y'all. I want to tell stories of locals from West Texas. I want to highlight my area. I did a video and it'll be dropping pretty soon, talking about, my role in the nationwide political scene, but how my content is kind of basically changed and pivoted to highlighting my area and my backyard. I think, this area is full of mystery. It's legendary, Midland, Odessa, and I want to broadcast that to the world. And not just that, whenever you deal with these platforms, it's very powerful. I just saw The Advocate. One of my posts got shared 1,000 times, I think, a couple of days ago. And I didn't even really look at it or pay attention, to be honest. But I'm just saying, once that camera comes out, once social media is involved with any situation, it is amazing. It's pretty crazy what can happen, with these phones nowadays. So anyways, I digress. So Michelle commented on the post because I said if anybody wants to do an interview, basically I had everything set up from Tracy, right? And I didn't want to take it all down. I said, man, maybe I can get another interview from somebody out there. And she responded and she came that day, y'all. And I knew right there that she wasn't playing. Now, her situation is she lost her son to gun violence. Now, the crazy thing about her situation is, she believes the police failed her. And to be honest, I somewhat agree with her. She has a lot of evidence here, and the case is a cold case. It's Alex. Let me see here. I'm starting to get the right name. Alec. I'm sorry. Michael Del Bosque. And I know her husband, and I know her, and these are upstanding people in the community of Odessa, Texas, West Texas. These are my people, they're Christians, and I've dealt with them before in the past with Christian events. They have a heart for the community. And when I saw Michelle, to be honest, when she walked into the studio, she was just, I don't want to put her down, but you can just tell she's just I don't want to say broken. She's just a heart, man, how can I say it? I'm going to just say a broken woman as far as her losing her son, and I'm not trying to put her down. I'm just being honest. What would happen to me if I lost my child? She lost her child. He was barely 18, not even for 90 days. This kid was in the South Side of Midland with her family. Many things happened, many shootings, many police reports. I saw another video that she did with the news. I think it was up to 13 police reports that she did, and to no avail. So I interviewed Michelle here in the studio, and the video will be dropping soon. And I'm telling you, it was a very touching story, touching interview, and now I'm heavily involved. Now on the advocate page, that's a page I run on the side. One of my pages, I shared her story, and you know, I advocate for missing and exploited women and children and any victim, right, to any crime. To be honest, it don't matter what age or gender you are. But the point is, I really am getting involved in this case, y'all, and I'm starting to post more about it, asking the officials in the city, why are more things not being done? You know, what's going on here as far as, you know, accountability. There's a lot of evidence here, and why can we not get justice for Alec and for Michelle and her family? The story is very riveting. It's heartfelt. It's heartbreaking. And again, it will be dropping as soon as I can get, you know, to editing it. I'm not a full-time content creator, ladies and gentlemen. I'm an oil fielder. I'm a trucker. I'm an oil man. I'm a father. I'm a husband. And the content creation, you know, it gets kind of put on the back burner. This is what I would like to do full time, but I have to go make money in the trucks, and I have a trucking company. So it's kind of hard for me, being a one-man band, to do all these interviews, shoot them all, you know, edit them all, and then post them all. People don't understand, even when you post a post, right, it's easy to share a meme or share a status or whatever, but whenever you are working with 4K quality video and high fidelity audio, and you sync it up together and you put it into an app or program, and then you edit it, right, and then you export it, and then you know, spread it out there, that's a process in itself. All those processes, all that process, all those certain processes take time, and even uploading it and posting it to different platforms. I mean, I could be here for 8 hours probably going through all my old content and posting it on all my platforms, y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's how much content I have, but at the same time, that's how much time it takes to actually post this stuff, and I'm a one-man band here. But like I said, the interview will be coming out pretty soon, and I hope y'all check it out and catch it, and I hope we end up getting this person that unalived her son off the street, because we have somebody that unalived somebody out there running around Odessa, Texas. You know, once you look at it like that, it puts a whole new lens on the whole case. Someone unalived this young man, and they are still out there, and no one has been convicted for the murder of Alec Michael Del Bosque. Okay, so the next story I want to touch on is going to be for, let's go to Tracy McCurry. Now, this video will be dropping pretty soon as well. It's called Lone Star Injustice, the Tracy McCurry story. Now, she's someone that I've seen on social media, you know, come through my feed. I'm friends with her. Little did I know, right, beknownst to me, she was praying about this, you know, hoping for this for 2 years, she told me, right? That's how much, look, I'm going to be honest, forgive me, whatever, right? But I do have a platform, but people might follow you or check you out. You might not even know, but this woman was waiting for about 2 years to get onto my platform to tell her message, and tell her message she did, right? She came here. She had actually done a podcast with another gentleman, Big Herc, right? And I saw it, and I wasn't really, you know, impressed by it, because the video and audio quality was horrendous, right? And me, if you could tell with my content, I take pride. I put a lot of money into my content to make sure it looks good and sounds good. To be honest, any podcasters out there, the audio means the most. That's the most important thing of any production, is your audio. The video, people can sit through a crappy looking video, but to listen to a crappy audio track on a video, they're not going to do that. So anyways, I digress. She had got put on the Big Herc page, and man, I'm going to say something about Big Herc. His content, I don't want to say sucks, but he's like a prison channel. He has 500,000 subscribers, but man, he gets like 2, 3, maybe 6,000, 10,000 views on a video. And those are low numbers for him having 500,000 on the subs, right? And I believe it's due to his crappy quality. His videos are just, you know, they're just not good as far as audio and video wise. Anyways, she got a hold of me. She came to the studio. I set it up for her, and she gave an awesome interview, 75-minute sit down. That one's taken a long time to edit. Can you imagine 4K quality video, and then the audio's just superb and crystal clear? She's going to be heard on this channel, best believe, and it's going to be pushed far and wide, just like Buddy Webb's video that has done over 4,000 or 5,000 views already. It's just a good quality video, and the audio is superb, and that's what gets people attention, and that's why they stick to these you know, videos and they watch them, right? Anyways, the Tracy McCurry story will be coming out pretty soon, and then she told me about, you know, 6 other stories about being in prison, dealing with corruption in Midland. She knows Midland all too well. She was born in the south side of Midland, and I can't wait till you watch this video, the interview of Tracy McCurry and what happened to her. Now, real quick, the gist of this situation is she was supposedly, right, set up by her sister and brother and parents and other people, oh my, and even some lawyers and sheriffs in Midland, Texas in 2005 or 4, I believe, and she got charged with conspiracy to commit capital murder. They were saying she tried to get her sister to unalive her, man, I want to say booty call, right? Her Sancho's, or her dude's common law wife. And that dude had another woman plus his common law wife plus Tracy. And she said that they only had one recording that they actually used in court. And she said that she didn't, call for the hit. And they ended up setting her up. And I feel like it's somewhat entrapment, to be honest, y'all. The sheriff gave the pistol to the sister to give to Tracy to set her up to basically, get the sister to go do the crime. It's just a weird situation. She explains it better. But to be honest, I just think this is a case of entrapment. I think it's not right. Again, though, I'll have the video uploading pretty soon for you to decide on the Tracy McCurry story. Man, it's a very heart-wrenching tale. She goes to prison for 10 years, basically, and she has some tales from prison, and she tells her story about she was basically, in her mind, right, set up out here in Midland, Texas. And I'm going to be honest, y'all, dealing with the police from Michelle's story to Tracy's, there's a lot of incompetence in the Midland Police Department, and I would even say the Sheriff's Department in West Texas, y'all. I'm not trying to put the police down. I back the blue, but even me, at one time, I was, illegally detained at a Beto O'Rourke rally. My civil rights were violated. My free speech was violated, right? And they didn't care. I even tried to pursue legal action. I went to the internal affairs. I went to the FBI, filed reports. I got no kind of help whatsoever. And if you know Nino America, I'm adamant. I'm persistent with what I go do, and I couldn't get nobody to hear me out. But the Midland Police Department illegally detained me. The videos on my YouTube, the Beto supporters lied and said that I was attacking people in the rally, and that was a lie. I had it all filmed. I was live streaming. I'm not dumb. I'm not going to go to any place or event and film myself attacking people. I'm going to get content. I'm going to speak to Beto. He was actually going to let me speak, Robert O'Rourke. He said I could stay in the event. They kicked out my wife. Anyways, the whole crowd lied, called the police, said that I was assaulting women. Come on, I'm a Christian. And they came in there, no questions asked. The MPD handcuffed me, took me outside, and trespassed me at the Martin Luther King Center for 1 year. And Robert Francis said that I could talk and I could stay. But these libtards, these deranged, Trump haters, these Beto supporters lied on me and got me handcuffed and put in the paddy wagon for 30 minutes with my wife outside, and they finally let me go because I didn't break no laws, right? So anyways, I digress. The point is, I've dealt with the police in Midland many times, and I back the blue, but to be honest, I don't back the blue in Midland, Texas, y'all, because these police do not uphold the Constitution, and they've harassed me many times, and even my wife, whenever she's taking my daughter to school, we've been harassed many times by the police here. So I'm not a big fan of the Midland Police Department. The Sheriff's Department is cool, I guess, but the point is there are some problems here in Midland, Texas, and Odessa, Texas, with the law enforcement. And I'm not trying to bash, police. I appreciate what they do. They are needed, right? But the point is, we the people should be protected by them. Their job is to uphold not just the law, but the Constitution. Tracy McCurry believes that she was set up. She believes that her civil rights were violated. She went to prison, finally got out on some kind of situation. I forgot what. Michelle doesn't trust the police because the police were very combative with her. They were calling her a Karen. This is the kind of support we get from the local law enforcement in West Texas from 2005 all the way till with me when they harassed me at the Beto O'Rourke rally. It's horrible, y'all. Anyways, Tracy McCurry's story is going to be posted pretty soon. If you get a chance, look at it and judge for yourself, what you think about it. Next topic is Buddy Webb. Buddy Wayne Webb is a Midlander, came from New Mexico. That video I shared on my Facebook. That one's out currently at about 4,000 to 5,000 views. He talks about underground tunnels and people in the attic. Now, what I will say about this is a controversial video. I got threats. As soon as I started talking about releasing it, Buddy Webb came here and recorded the video with me. The interview, awesome, amazing. He tells his whole story, start to end. It was a great video. One thing I will say about Buddy Wayne Webb, believe him or not, but I will always respect this man due to this one simple fact. He was the first person in Midland, Texas to ever collaborate or work with Nino America. Controversial, crazy figure, whatever you want to call me, Buddy Webb came to the studio, came and worked with me, and he was very respectful. He's been nothing but respectful towards me towards him. He's my friend, and I respect Buddy Webb for, giving me a shot and even dealing with me. A lot of people don't even want to, deal with me, and it shows. But Buddy Webb did take the chance, and he dealt with me. His video's up now. I'm going to try to get him on the podcast pretty soon, and we will touch on this crazy story. Basically, what he said is there's underground tunnels in Midland. He came from New Mexico, bought a house. He tells it all in the video, and he says that he was shot by someone underneath his house, and they were also in his attic. Now, as crazy as this might sound to you, I've heard many tales about this kind of stuff throughout the whole United States. Ever since he started talking about it, I actually paid more attention, and I would hear about stuff like this happening across the nation, right? So I'm going to say this. People call Buddy crazy, but there's been a lot of reports of underground tunnels underneath Midland, Texas. Midland, Texas is the oil town. Gary Painter, the sheriff, was made a Grand Mason. The next day he has a heart attack. That's weird in my opinion. There's a bunch of Masonic temples all around Midland, even Stanton, Big Spring, West Texas. So there's some creepiness in this area. And I'm going to say one thing. Someone told me that there are, or they were, some underground tunnels. They were actually in them. Somebody I trust. And there was actually a church involved, okay? And there was even satanic doings underneath these tunnels. This was back in the day, and this person remembers vividly. But I'm going to be honest. They said that they didn't want to say nothing about this because they don't want to get lumped in with the same category as Buddy Webb. See what I'm saying? You might have some truth. You might know something, and before you know it, the way they ridicule someone, it might stop you from saying something yourself. So someone told me this, and I believe them. They said there is underground tunnels underneath Midland from a certain street to the mall, I believe. I forgot what they said. And back in the day, they were talking about satanic, rituals that were going down in these tunnels, okay? And I remember back in the day in the West Side, they were saying there was something about a tunnel too, and something about like a satanic area back then too. I forgot which part. I remember I had heard this. Now, this is all kind of hearsay. Of course, there's no pictures or proof or video proof that we have on our end, but this is another legend that comes out of Midland, Texas, that there's underground tunnels and or even bunkers underneath the ground. Now, call us crazy, say what you want, but like I said, this is just what has been floating throughout the air for many years. And again, someone told me this and confirmed that there are tunnels. I don't know if they're the same ones that Buddy's talking about, because he talks about underground bunkers that were used in oil shows and other nefarious situations. I don't know if they're related, but there always has been talk of tunnels under Midland, Texas. If you get a chance, check out the story of Buddy Wayne Webb. It's on my YouTube channel. I shared it on my Facebook page. Let's continue. So the next situation here is I shared a picture of Heather Bredemus. She was sharing a big old sign with her father and her mother. I crossed out the sign. Hey, I'm savage. I don't care. It's public domain. You want to post it up there, we can, edit it and put it up ourselves too. But Heather Bredemus is a fake conservative. She's running for the Republican, party for a city council seat in Midland, Texas. Now, she was uncontested. I think someone actually started running against her, and I just posted straight up, anyone but her, straight up. Heather Bredemus was harassing local businesses during the Rona shutdown with mask mandates that were illegal, unlawful, right, and unethical and unconstitutional. We have proof of her. There's pictures of her with the mask, full mask and gown and everything, going to several businesses and threatening them with being shut down and or fines. This woman is nothing but a civilian, but this is what she did in her spare time during the Rona season with the mask situation. So this woman claims to be a conservative. Everybody I know, my wife has a family member that went to school with her. They claim that this woman was not a conservative whatsoever. So there's this swamp creature in Midland, Texas, getting support of the Hispanic conservatives, Republican Party. I've seen it myself, and there they are, all duped by her, and she's running as far as being a conservative Republican for a seat in Midland. I forgot exactly what seat she's running for. District 1. That's all I know, right? The point is, she's a fraud, and she was on K-Well one time, and she would not admit, saying that she's a conservative, she would not admit that she would vote for Trump. She is a Trump hater. And people were pressing her, if Trump is the nominee, are you going to vote for him? I will end up voting for whoever is the nominee. Like, she did not want to say. She couldn't muster in herself to say that she was going to vote for President Trump. This is months back, and I even called and I put her on the line there, right? She was saying the same thing about certain wicked lifestyles. And I said, this is what the Bible says. I gave her a clear scripture. This is what the Bible says, Heather, and she knows who I am. I don't like her or her husband, to be honest. Her husband is actually named Kit Bridamus. He is the main head nurse. What a weenie, right? At the Midland Memorial Hospital, another wicked place. We need to audit that place ASAP. But he is the head nurse there. And I got reason to believe that he was actually violating certain laws, in my opinion, as far as people's health records, because somehow this woman knew who had certain, I got to be careful my words here. She knew a lot of information that I believe that she got from her husband, and her husband worked at the hospital. I've told my wife and I told everybody, if I ever, something happens to me, do not take me to Midland Memorial. I'd rather die than go to that damn hospital. And Kit Bridamus is her husband. He's there, and she's probably lurking around, and she's running a campaign to get a seat in District 1 for Midland. And please, I beseech you, brethren, Christians, Republicans, conservatives, Trumpers, make sure you go out and vote against this woman. Anybody will be better than Heather Bridamus. Same thing with her and her buddy, Courtney Ratliff. And that's another person I don't even want to talk about right now on this podcast, but two people that are enemies of Midland, Texas. Heather Bridamus and Courtney Ratliff, swamp creatures in Midland, Texas with wicked agendas, and they are using false pretenses and straight up lies to push their narratives in this city. Make Midland conservative again, make Midland Christian again, and to hell with all these local politicians that want to sit here and do and be wicked and do wicked things, should I say. So Heather Bridamus, you get no love from the south side of Midland, you or your husband. I publicly call you out, Kit, lame fraud, and you are not welcome in Southside Midland, Texas. Okay, so the next thing I want to touch on is going to be on the Advocate page. I shared this. Now, Target has been a place that's been targeted, right? I've shared many posts, or a couple of posts about Target, even Walmart. A bunch of perverts hang out at these stores, and they target women. I would even say children. But there's an actual post from Odessa, Texas. It says, ladies, be aware, between 9 and 9:30 last night, there was a silver Honda pilot driving around Target parking lot on 42nd. They entered Target around 9, noticed a car driving around, but didn't think much. He was looking at the parking, but he didn't slow down, passing women going in. While I was leaving, I saw this male driver again in front of me taking pictures of me. I was alarmed, headed to my car, and was followed by him, ended up doing a whole loop after I turned back around to go inside Target to notify an employee. While doing that, I was able to take pictures of his vehicle while walking back. This is very alarming, as there was a very large amount of women from my university there at the time going school shopping. The man's windows were tinted lightly, but I could see he had a cap on and was tan, darker complexion. Target has been a place where issues like this have happened in the past locally. I know because I run the page. Be vigilant, West Texas. I shared it with the original post on the bottom. She actually said in the comments, I made sure this wasn't a scam post. She said that she notified law enforcement, but of course, he didn't break no laws. Okay, it's not illegal to be a creep. The point is, though, this post is very good to know for women can be aware of their surroundings when they're out there in public. Don't be on your phone, especially when you're driving, but when you're out there at night, at Target, at Walmart, or at a convenience store, be very careful, because I don't know if you know this, but West Texas is a hub for human trafficking. I've heard there's over 40,000 illegal aliens in Midland alone, okay? This area is not safe whatsoever. Be careful, men, with your wives and your daughters when they go out in public. This is a dangerous-ass city and a dangerous area, and I'm here to warn you and ring the alarm. This post was posted on my Facebook page, The Advocate, 700 shares, 90 comments, 150 likes and reactions. Crazy situation, y'all. And again, I've shared different posts about Target and Walmart, weirdos taking pictures. These guys are perverts, y'all. Look, a regular Christian man such as myself, I'm not going to be in public looking at no woman taking pictures or thinking perverse like these guys, right? That's the thing, though. I don't think like that. But just because I don't think like that doesn't mean like that someone else is not thinking that way, right? If you're a career criminal, you're always in that element. Me, I'm not a criminal. I have nothing to do with that crap. But the point is, you know, some people live their lives like that, right? So if you're a criminal, you do criminal things and your mind's wired like that. If you're a pervert taking pictures or trying to kidnap women, you're wired like that. The point is, be very careful in West Texas with situations like this. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about, if I can find it, actually, y'all, this is the last thing that I actually need to do a story on, is the situation with the gas or slash diesel in the gas tanks at a store here. Now, let me see if I can find it right here. Diesel fuel was accidentally loaded into the gasoline pumps, resulting in car owners having extensive mechanical issues. This is at the Murphy gas station, I believe. Let me check before I tell you which one it is. My wife goes here She said she's going to stop going here. I told her because I already know. My buddy hauls fuel, I haul oil, basically almost the same thing. But the point is this. It's not really Murphy's fault. This is driver error. Whatever trucking company that has that contract, they sent a driver. That driver picked up the fuel. He loaded the diesel instead of the gasoline, and he unloaded it in that gasoline tank. The tanks are underground. You've seen them all the time. I know how they operate. It's very simple. They go to a convenience store with the tanker, hazmat, pull up, and they unload the gas or diesel, and mistakes can happen. They can be on their phone. They can be having a bad day. And some driver, this is driver's error, some driver loaded that tanker with diesel and put it in the wrong compartment or put it in the wrong tanks at the fuel island. So the point is, you can blame Murphy all day. I believe they're actually, helping correct the situation, rectify these, expenses. But I heard some people saying that they don't want to cover certain dates. Point is, it's not really Murphy's fault. It's the fault of the driver that hauled and picked up that load of diesel and put it in the wrong tanks. Now, this is Andrews Highway, the Murphy USA gas station. I think it's the new one, to be honest. Someone said my car died Friday. A lot of people went to the mechanic, blase. This is a post that went viral, and many people are wondering if their car was affected by, this situation. Again, this is a freak accident. In my opinion, there's no way to really test it, I guess. I guess you can probably throw a little bit of gas and throw it on the ground, I guess. I mean, I'm not saying to do that, but I don't know how else to test this besides looking at the gas that's coming out of the pump. I've never heard of this happening. I actually want to do a report on this. I don't know if I will, if I have time, but I've never heard of this happening in West Texas. It's crazy that this actually happened at this gas station and the post went viral. Thank God for social media for certain situations like this because, we're able to share the information. It is crazy. So again, I don't believe that Murphy's is at fault whatsoever. It's the driver that loaded that diesel and unloaded it in the wrong tank or the gasoline tanks at Murphy's, y'all. And there's people, unbeknownst to them, loading up diesel in their gas-powered motors. Now, they say that this can actually cause engine failure. They have to change out, it's a very expensive cost repair. They have to change out fuel injectors, fuel lines, whatever, fuel pumps. I know that's part of the fuel system, right? I have an 18-wheeler. All this stuff, y'all, are components to this very intricate and delicate fuel system in a vehicle. I would be pissed off if that happened to me. Go to a fuel place to get gas, and there you are getting diesel, and, that runs through your whole system. They said they can also damage your motor, which I don't doubt that whatsoever. So anyways, y'all be careful when you get fuel. Murphy gas station on Andrews Highway. Many drivers are pissed, and we'll see if they cover the expenses. Now, with that, y'all, that's the local roundup of what I'm doing on this podcast. Again, I'm looking for a co-host. You build it, they will come. I'm manifesting someone to be sitting here with me, someone that will take it seriously, come out here at least minimum once a week. If that pertains to you, let me know. We can get you down here and, do a setup interview / pod and see how we work together. It's like Celinda. Shout out my barber, Celinda. Hernandez, the Men's Den owner, said, please put someone on there with not a monotone voice. When she hears that, she gets out the podcast, right? I'm hoping that's kind of like me, right? My voice is kind of monotonish, but that's pretty good advice, right? At least she's looking out for me. Shout out Celinda. She had a little bit of drama going on too. I would like to get her. I'm going to be interviewing her one day as well, but she has some pretty good drama on her Snapchat. Again, the owner of the Men's Den. If you get a chance, check her out, y'all. She's a pretty good content creator as well and an awesome barber. And she commented on my post earlier about me looking for a co-host on the podcast. I appreciate everybody that commented on there. Thank you for everybody that watched this podcast this whole way. If you watch this whole way, please put an American flag on your comment. Let me know what you think. And again, thank you for checking out the podcast. This is Nino Radio, episode 1. And hopefully we have episode 2 coming up pretty soon. You're an American. You're a patriot. You got grit. Act like it. I'm out.